The Yankees have played 3 games against the Angels. They've scored runs, they've won 2 out of 3, and if you just look at that, you'd say this series is going fine. But that's not the standard, because through 3 games, we've already seen 3 completely different versions of this team. And that is a problem. So, a quick series snapshot so far. Game 1, we win 11-10. Game 2, we lose 7-1. And Game 3, we win 5-4. So overall, we're 2-1 through 3 games. But look at that range. You've got a chaotic shootout in Game 1. You've got a complete offensive shutdown in Game 2. And then you've got a tight 1-run game in Game 3. And that's not consistency. That's volatility. In that first game, where we scored 11 runs, you've got Judge with 2 home runs, a 2-run homer in the first, Caballero's 2-run home run in the second gives us the 4-0 lead. Then you've got poor defense in the 4th inning that leads to 4 unearned runs, and it forces Warren out of the game, not able to complete the 4th inning. He goes 3.2 innings, 3 hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, 0 earned runs. Then you've got Grisham pinch hitting for Grichuk in the 5th, so finally we're pinch hitting for Grichuk. He hits the 3-run homer that gives us a 7-4 lead. Trout ends up hitting a 3-run homer off Bird in the 6th, tying the game at 7. Judge's second home run then comes in the 6th, gives us an 8-7 lead. Trout's second home run comes in the 8th, gives them a 10-8 lead. Grisham's second home run comes in the 9th inning, ties the game at 10, and the Yankees finally walk it off on the wild pitch. Our defense was costly. The bullpen had a poor performance, and the offense finally exploded. Game 2, you've got Weathers giving up back-to-back-to-back home runs in the 1st inning, immediately putting us in the hole. He ends up going 5 innings, 5 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, and 10 strikeouts. The offense stutters yet again. Only 1 run, which came on Rice's pinch hit sacrifice fly in the 8th inning, which, again, it's another game in which Rice is held out of the starting lineup, which makes no sense to me considering he's your best hitter right now. Maybe second best to Judge. Judge is getting hot. Judge then shows us that grit that you want to see. In the 9th inning, down 7-1, he has a 12-pitch at-bat that results in him getting a double. That's what you want to see out of this team. Like, it doesn't matter if you're up 6 runs, down 6 runs, or if it's a tie game. You want to see these guys battle. That's what you get paid to do. And Judge did just that. So, hats off to Judge. Grichuk finally gets his first hit of the season in this game, which was a double in the 8th inning, which brings his batting average up to .063. And through 2 games in this series, there was only one other team in Major League Baseball to feature 5 players in the starting lineup that are hitting under 200. The first one is the Yankees, and the other one is the Chicago White Sox. That is not company that you want to keep. So Game 3, last night, Judge homers again, his 7th home run. Heel was okay at best. 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. One of those walks was before Trout's home run. He gave up 3 home runs total. Our bullpen, between Hill, Cruz, Hedrick, and Bednar, pitched 4 shutout innings. 4 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 2 strikeouts. Both came from Bednar. And then our 6, 7, and 8 hitters all had hits. Jazz's hit in the 9th inning was a gift. It was a pop-up that nobody caught. But the Yankees took advantage of the Angels' mistakes and were able to score the tying and go-ahead run in that 9th inning. So, what has held so far in this series? Well, number one, the ability to win different types of games. So, we've shown we can win the high-scoring games, like Game 1, and we can win the close and controlled game, which was Game 3. And that's important to be able to win in different types of ways. The second thing that held, our offensive ceiling. Scoring 11 runs in Game 1. We know that this offense can explode. That hasn't changed, and it shouldn't. But, we've been waiting since the first game of the season when we scored 7 runs. It's been a while since we've seen the offensive explosion, and we finally just saw it in Game 1 of this series. So what has not held in this series? Well, the biggest thing is consistency. You've seen 3 different teams in these 3 games so far. That's not sustainable. What is your identity? Are you going to have the elite pitching? Are you going to have the elite hitting? In Game 1, seemed like the pitching wasn't great, but the hitting was awesome. In Game 2, the pitching was just okay. The hitting was non-existent. And then in Game 3, starting pitching was okay. Bullpen was great. The offense was so-so, but we took advantage when we needed to. The second thing that is not holding right now is run prevention. You allowed 10 runs in the first game, 7 runs in the second game. The Angels are averaging scoring 7 runs per game. So even in wins, that's stress on this team, and that's a problem. And then the third thing that did not hold is the offensive stability. Because yes, we scored 11 runs in Game 1, but we followed that up in the second game, scoring just 1 run. And we've seen this before. When it disappears completely. And if that happens in October, your season is over. So, did this team respond? After the Rays series, the question was, can they clean up execution and stabilize? And the answer so far is partially. Game 3 showed much better control, more composure, but in games 1 and 2, we saw the chaos, the inconsistency, and a lack of control in the game. So this isn't a full response, but it is a partial one. And we can see what happens in the next game later today and moving on in the next few series. The turning point of this series so far is Game 2. Because after a wild Game 1, Game 2 resets the tone. You come back and you only score 1 run. That's the definition of inconsistency, and it reinforced one of the biggest concerns we have. The offense is not carrying the momentum over from one game to the next. And you would like to see that happen. You should see that happen with this team. With the players on this offense, you should be able to see consistent, high-scoring games from our offense. So as for the player performances, the positive, It's the top of the lineup, first and foremost, Judge. Judge has been just on a tear in this series, hitting those 2 home runs in the first game. He hit the home run again in the third game, creating opportunities, driving offense, and keeping this team in games. The concern so far in this series is the pitching consistency. So the series has not been clean, and even when we won Game 1 and Game 3, there has been too many runs allowed. Too much traffic on the bases, too much stress. And even after Game 1, when Bird gave up the 3-run homer to Trout, he got sent down to AAA immediately after the game. And he actually looked good early in the season. He's got things to work on. We've seen that with a few of our bullpen arms. Doval also, he's got his moments where he looks great, and then he's got moments where he just gets knocked around. And you can't have that at the end of your bullpen. Not if you want to win close games. And what's trending right now? The biggest trend is not with one player, it's with the entire team. You don't know which version of this team is going to show up on a day-to-day basis. Is it going to be the explosive team? Is it going to be the silent offense? Or is it going to be a controlled game? And that uncertainty matters. So if we zoom out, what does this tell us about the structure of the team? What is here? We have an incredibly high offensive ceiling. We have the ability to win close games, which we have not seen prior to this series. I believe we were 0-6 in one-run games coming into this. Now we've won 2 one-run games. But prior to that, it looked like we just weren't coming through when we needed to win those close games. So we have that. We have the offensive ceiling, and we have plenty of talent on this team. That we know for sure. What is not here right now is the consistency of identity. It's still not defined. It still shifts from game to game. It's the game control. There's too many games, again, that we feel like we're in survival mode and not control mode. We haven't had a game that we've controlled since the 5-0 win in Seattle. We had the 7-0 win in San Fran, the 5-0 win in Seattle, and there hasn't been a game that we have totally controlled since then. And that was weeks ago at this point. And then there's risk patterns still present. Again, the offense disappears. I think some of that has to do with the lineups that we put out. Sitting Ben Rice back-to-back days doesn't make much sense to me. Constantly putting Grichuk in the lineup, who, again, is now batting .063, and consistently having Ryan McMahon. I know he's great defensively. You got to give him that. But his average is 119. It's horrendous. And then we've got the pitching volatility, like I've said. Sometimes this bullpen is great. Sometimes it's horrible. As for the starting pitching, we know we're going to get good efforts from Fried. We know we're going to get a good effort from Schlittler. And Will Warren has been more positive than negative this year. I mean, the 4 runs he gave up in this series were all unearned. But as far as Luis Gil, Ryan Weathers, we don't know what we're going to get from them. I will say for Ryan Weathers, though, in his starts, the Yankees offense has not scored a single run while he has been on the mound, including that 1-0 shutout loss to the A's. All of the other games, the Yankees offense has scored after the bullpen has taken over. So they've given him literally zero chance to win games. But what have we learned so far from this series? Well, in the 3 games so far, we've got 3 lessons. Number 1, the ceiling is still high. It's good to see that we can win games in multiple ways. It was looking for a while like we can't win a close game, and now we've won 2. It was looking for a while like this offense is not hitting home runs at the rate that they should be. And then you've got the 11-run explosion. So, we've seen our pitching shut down the other teams earlier in the season, but we haven't seen our offense really dominate like we did in Game 1. So, again, good to see good teams can win multiple ways. And this team is starting to show that we can do that. Lesson number 2 is the floor is still a problem. When things go wrong, they go all the way wrong. This offense has disappeared on numerous occasions and to not so great teams. The Angels are not known for being a great team. Pitching, hitting, they've got Mike Trout, who is just a total stud, but they as a whole are not a great team. So you should not be getting blown out by them. You should not be getting shut out by the Athletics. But here we are. Number 3, the identity of this team is still unclear. They haven't defined who they are yet. And hopefully, like I keep saying, we will be getting multiple starting pitchers back from the injured list. We have Cole coming back. He's supposed to make a start in Double-A next week. Or actually on Friday. And then Rodon will be coming back. And then later on in the year, we'll even get Clark Schmidt back. So those 3 guys should be very helpful in bolstering the starting rotation. And then hopefully, at some point, we'll see Rodriguez, Lagrange, these guys that throw really hard and can actually help out in a bullpen that has been, again, inconsistent at best. So where are we trending at this point? Well, through 3 games in this series, our offense, I can't say it's trending up or down. It's in the middle. Because we've seen the good, we've seen the bad, we've seen the ugly. It's not really trending in one direction or the other. It's far too volatile. Our pitching in this series has been trending downward. Giving up 7 runs a game to the Angels is not good. The execution of this team, much better so far than the other series we've had recently. Definitely much better than the Rays, better than the A's, but we still have games like Game 1, where you've got those 4 unearned runs because of bad defense. We've got games like Game 2, where the offense doesn't show up. So the execution shows up on some days, doesn't show up on others. And right now, our identity, still unclear. So what should we be watching for in the last game of this series, and then in the next series against the Royals and the Red Sox? Because I'm going to be away for the next week, so the next recap that we do will be after the Red Sox series. So what should we be watching for in the meantime? Can they stabilize? Not just win games, but stabilize. Can we show that the offense can be consistent? Can we have good offensive production in back-to-back quality games? And can they control a game cleanly? Less chaos, more control. And this has to do with just complete all-around games from starting pitching, bullpen, offense, and defense. It would be nice to see an A+ from all four of those categories, which we have not seen much of this year. Now, we know this team can do it. We know we have the talent to do it. But will they do it is the question. If they do all these things, then you're trending forward. If not, it's the same story again. So here's the truth. The Yankees are winning games in this series, but they're not really building trust with us. Because through 3 games, you don't know what version of this team that you're getting. And until that changes, they're dangerous, but unpredictable. That's the standard. Not just winning series, but showing who you are while doing it. And right now, that's still unclear. This is The Standard with Brian Leavy.